Happy Friday, folks, in accounting procedures. I want to just tell you that I did record today in class, and the recording it sounds pretty good. Sometimes you can't hear the questions that were asked from the students in the room, but I mostly repeated them, and I'm too loud, but anyway. Um, I wanted to show you just a reminder of how to get to those class time recordings. So you go to WebEx and, oh darn it, I'm logged in as a student, so I can't go to WebEx. But I promise you, if you go to WebEx and then go to event recordings, you'll see the class recordings by date. And you can choose different ways to look at the recording. You can look at it. You can download it as an MP4, and or you can stream it. So whatever works better on your system. Okay, I want to show you today on the modules and show you that I added a file to module or to chapter 4. So scrolling down this information, people said today in class that chapter 3 was really, really long. Moving on, chapter 4 doesn't look so bad, but just to point out, the work is probably just as much work, just not split up so much. Okay, so I added the Excel file to use for problems in Chapter 4. When you get started with the problems, if you love doing pencil and paper, that's fine, but if you love Excel, you might want to use this Excel file. So if you click on the Excel file to use for the problems, it just gives you a note saying the next item in this module is an Excel spreadsheet I made. I have some students in the classroom that like Excel, so that's pretty awesome. So on the next, it's just, this file is not usable, this is a PDF, but if you look up above, you can download that Excel sheet and use it for your own. So you would do that by clicking on the link to download it, and then it runs to the bottom of the screen, which just went off of the screen you're watching. But then you can open and save it as your own. It's being a little slow because it's checking for viruses and stuff, so just a second. Bring it into view here. So this is what the Excel sheet looks like. What I did was I went to the solution problems that are given to me as an instructor. I took out the data, but then I made it work a little bit better in Excel, so you can put whole numbers into cells. So notice at the bottom I've got the problem name, and I tried to mimic the pages in the book. So in the book they have this general journal for problem 4.1 split into 3 pages, so I kind of copied and did the same. Problem 2 looks a little the same, only with problem 2 you go into the ledgers, so you post into the ledgers. And I'm sure I've made mistakes, but you definitely can edit these pretty easily. So you can see the different ledgers that are available. We're still on problem 2. Problem 3 is just a place for you to type your answers and make written answers, so just do whatever you want there if you're using the sheet. And problem 4 is another general journal where you I think you figure out what to do with errors that you have found. I can't remember now that I'm thinking about it. Anyway, I wanted to just introduce that to you so that you could see how I've got it set up with the different tabs. When you open it, it should be right on the first tab for problem 4.1, and I did my best, but I'm sure I goofed up on some of the ledgers. Hopefully the names are right and all that, but you might need to add rows or delete rows or whatever. Feel free. Use it as your own. Ask me if you want some Excel help, because I love Excel. You guys know that. Okay, so if you like Excel and you want to do your homework on Excel instead of paper, then that would be pretty sweet for turning it in, because then you could just turn in one document. Okay, closing that and going back to modules and looking back at module 4. Today in class we went over the exercises for chapter 4. The solutions are now available for you to see. We started problem 1 in the classroom. So if you are following along with the video from WebEx, we take you all the way through problem 4.1, which is cool. And then you'll upload your problems here by next Friday, and then you'll have a quiz, which you can practice the quiz in the online learning center. So let me remind you of where the online learning center is. If you just click on the home page, sorry about that, guys. And then the online resources for the text, this is where you can jump in and take the practice tests, because I've used the same one. So you just go into Student Edition and choose your chapter, and then this quiz, multiple choice quiz. Don't email it to me or anything, just practice here and then take the real test inside of Canvas. All right, so in case you don't go through the WebEx, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What is a fish's least favorite day of the week? Friday. Have a good one, guys.